There are moments in life when you sit alone and ask yourself, why does everything feel so difficult? You work hard, but nothing seems to change. You keep trying, but the results never seem to come. Money feels tight. People misunderstand you. Relationships fall apart. And the future becomes something you are afraid to think about. You look around and wonder, when will my life finally get better? Maybe you are living through that season right now. Maybe you're smiling in front of everyone while fighting a completely different battle inside. People see your face, but they don't see the nights when your mind refuses to rest. They don't see the thoughts you keep hidden. They don't know how many times you've questioned yourself. And perhaps you haven't told anyone how exhausted you really are. But listen carefully. What if this difficult season isn't the end of your story? What if it's the part of the story where you are being rebuilt? Because sometimes life has to become uncomfortable before you become stronger. A tree doesn't develop deep roots during a calm afternoon. Its roots grow deeper when the wind becomes violent. A muscle doesn't become stronger without resistance. And a person doesn't discover their deepest strength while everything is easy. Sometimes, you have to lose your comfort to discover your courage. You have to face uncertainty to discover your discipline. You have to experience failure to discover your resilience. So instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Try asking, what is this experience trying to develop in me? That question can change everything. Maybe the struggle is teaching you patience. Maybe rejection is teaching you self-respect. Maybe loneliness is teaching you independence. Maybe failure is teaching you a better way forward. Maybe financial hardship is teaching you discipline. Maybe losing someone is teaching you that your happiness cannot depend completely on another person. You may not understand the lesson while you're living through the pain, but sometimes understanding comes later. Years later, you may look back and realize, that season changed me. Not because it was easy, but because it forced you to become someone you wouldn't have become otherwise. Music. Think about the strongest people you know. Their strength probably didn't come from having a perfect life. It came from surviving imperfect moments. They were disappointed. They were rejected. They made mistakes. They lost opportunities. They trusted the wrong people. And again, and again. That's how strength is built. Not in comfort. Through repetition. Through resistance. Through choosing to continue when quitting feels easier. So if you're going through a storm right now, don't immediately assume that your life is falling apart. Maybe you're learning how to stand without everything being perfect. And then there are the voices of other people. These voices can be dangerous if you allow them to become your own. Someone tells you, you can't do it. Someone laughs at your dream. Someone reminds you of your past mistakes. Someone looks at your current situation and decides what your future will be. But they don't know your future. They only know what they can see today. And today is not forever. Your current income isn't your permanent identity. Your current job isn't your final destination. Your current mistakes aren't your life sentence. And your current circumstances don't have the authority to predict everything you're capable of becoming. Use it. People often judge the unfinished version of you. They see the struggle, but they don't see the potential. They see the failure, but they don't see the lessons you're collecting. They see where you are, but they don't know where you're going. So stop trying to convince everyone. You don't need to win every argument. You don't need to explain every decision. You don't need approval from people who don't understand your vision. Build quietly, learn quietly, work quietly, improve quietly, and let time reveal what words never could. Because eventually, your results will become louder than your explanations. Use it. Let people underestimate you. Let them doubt you. Let them misunderstand you. You don't have to fight every opinion. Sometimes the most powerful response is progress. Don't spend your energy proving that you're capable. Spend that energy becoming capable. Don't chase respect. Become the kind of person who naturally earns it. Don't chase validation. Build a life that makes you proud even when nobody is watching. Talk less about what you're going to do, and spend more time doing it. Miss it. There will also be seasons when people leave. Someone you loved, and when we loved may walk away. A friendship may disappear. A relationship may end. People you once spoke to every day may eventually become strangers. And yes, that can hurt deeply. But sometimes an empty space isn't punishment. Sometimes it's preparation. When the noise disappears, you finally have room to hear yourself. You begin asking questions you avoided when you were surrounded by everyone else. What do I actually want? What kind of person am I becoming? What kind of life do I want to build? What matters to me? What am I willing to sacrifice for my future? Don't be afraid of being alone for a while. Solitude can teach you things that crowds never will. It can teach you how to enjoy your own company, how to make decisions without seeking permission, how to become emotionally independent, how to understand your own mind, and most importantly, how to stand on your own feet. You don't need a crowd around you to prove that you matter. Sometimes the person you need most is the person you see in the mirror. So if everyone seems to have disappeared, don't disappear from your own life. Stand up. Keep going. Be there for yourself. Now let's talk about failure. Because failure has a strange way of making people forget who they are. You fail once, and you question your ability. You fail again, and you question your future. Eventually, you stop saying, I failed, and you start saying, I am a failure. That is where the real danger begins. Because something you experienced is not the same thing as who you are. You failed. That happened. But you are not failure. You made a bad decision. That happened. But you are not a bad person. You lost money. That happened. But you are not worthless. You missed an opportunity. That happened. But you are not finished. Separate your identity from your circumstances. A failure is feedback. A setback is a signal to adjust your direction. Use it. Study it. Learn from it. Then move forward. The goal isn't to create a life where you never fail. The goal is to become someone who knows how to recover when failure arrives. Because the person who never falls learns very little about getting back up. And remember, your current chapter is not your entire story. Maybe you're struggling financially right now. Maybe your career isn't where you imagined it would be. Maybe your relationships are complicated. Maybe you're disappointed with yourself. But this is a chapter, not the whole book. Never judge an entire book because you didn't like one chapter. Your story is still moving. There are pages you haven't reached yet. There are people you haven't met. Opportunities you haven't discovered. Skills you haven't learned. Places you haven't seen. Versions of yourself you haven't become yet. So don't end the story because you don't like the current page. Turn it small. You don't need to fix everything tonight. You don't need to become a completely different person tomorrow morning. Just make one better decision. Read a few pages. Learn something useful. Exercise. Save a little money. Work on your skill. Wake up earlier. Spend less time scrolling. Spend more time building. One small improvement may look insignificant today, but small improvements repeated for months can completely change a life. Stop waiting for motivation to appear. Motivation is unreliable. Discipline is different. Discipline says, I don't feel like doing this, but I'm doing it anyway. You don't need to feel powerful every morning. You just need to keep your promises to yourself. If you said you're going to learn, learn. If you said you're going to work, if you said you're going to improve, improve. Your confidence grows when you repeatedly prove to yourself that your own word can be trusted. That's how self-respect is built. And don't compare your journey to someone else's. You might be looking at someone's success while they're standing on years of invisible work. You see the result. You don't see the sacrifices. You see the achievement. You don't see the failures. You see their chapter 20 while you're still writing chapter 3. So stop using someone else's timeline to judge your own life. Your journey has its own pace. Your responsibility is not to become someone else. Your responsibility is to become the strongest version of yourself. And then comes patience. This may be one of the hardest lessons of all. We live in a world that makes everything look instant. Instant information. Instant entertainment. Instant communication. So we start expecting instant success too. But real growth doesn't work that way. You plant a seed today and you don't dig it up tomorrow because you can't see a tree. You trust the process beneath the surface. Your life can be the same. There may be progress happening that you cannot see yet. Your discipline is growing. Your knowledge is growing. Your experience is growing. Your character is growing. Don't destroy the process just because the results are taking longer than you expected. Maybe you've already tried several times. Maybe you've already tried several times. Maybe you failed more than once. Maybe you're tired of starting over. But hear me clearly. Starting over is not the same as starting from nothing. Every attempt taught you something. Every mistake gave you information. Every disappointment gave you experience. Every difficult day added another layer to your character. You are not the same person who started. So try again. But this time, try with everything you've learned. You have no idea what the next 6 months could look like. You don't know who you could become in 1 year. You don't know what 5 years of consistent effort could do to your life. So don't make a permanent decision because of a temporary season. Don't let today's emotions write tomorrow's story. You may feel lost today and find direction tomorrow. You may struggle today and become an example for someone else later. You may feel powerless today and discover your strength through the very challenge you're facing. Remember the night. No matter how long it feels, it doesn't cancel the existence of morning. A storm can shake everything around you, but it cannot last forever. And your difficult season has an ending too. One day, you may look back at this version of yourself. You'll remember the nights you wanted to quit. You'll remember the moments when nobody believed in you. You'll remember how uncertain everything felt. And you may say, well, I almost gave up, but I'm glad I didn't. So if nobody understands your journey right now, understand it yourself. If nobody believes in your dream, keep believing. If nobody supports you, learn how to support yourself. You don't need everyone to understand what you're building. You need the courage to continue building it. Your future doesn't require unanimous approval. It requires consistency. It requires consistency. It requires patience. And above everything else, it requires you to keep showing up. So when life becomes difficult, don't immediately ask how you can escape it. Ask how you can grow through it. When rejection comes, ask what it can teach you. When failure comes, ask what needs to change. When loneliness comes, ask what you can discover about yourself. When money becomes tight, ask how you can become more disciplined. When people leave, ask whether you're being given space to become independent. Every situation may not be good. Every experience may not be fair. But you can still choose what you become because of it. And please remember this. You are allowed to cry. You are allowed to feel tired. You are allowed to admit that something hurts. Being strong doesn't mean pretending that nothing affects you. Being strong means feeling the pain and refusing to let the pain decide your future. Rest if you need to. Take a breath. Step back for a moment. But don't surrender your entire future because today is difficult. Your life may not look the way you wanted it to. Not yet. But not yet is powerful. Not yet means the story is still moving. Not yet means there is still room for change. Not yet means you're still becoming. So don't call yourself finished while you're still growing. Don't call yourself unsuccessful while you're still learning. Don't call yourself lost while you're still searching. And never call yourself a failure simply because you haven't reached the destination yet. You are a work in progress. Your life is a work in progress. Your future is a work in progress. And that's okay. You don't need to have everything figured out today. You just need to take the next step. Then another. Then another. One day, those small steps will take you somewhere you couldn't imagine from where you stand today. Music. So get up. Even if you don't feel ready. Get up. Even if you're afraid. Get up. Even if people doubt you. Get up. Even if you failed before. Get up. Not because life suddenly became easy, but because you've decided that your circumstances will not control your destiny. Build yourself. Build yourself. Build your mind. Build your skills. Build your discipline. Build your character. Build your future. And do it without needing everyone to clap for you. One day, the same struggle you're surviving today may become the story that inspires someone else to keep going. The same pain that once made you question yourself may become the reason you understand your own strength. The same chapter you wanted to erase may become the chapter you're most grateful for. So remember, hard seasons don't last forever. People's opinions don't define you. Failure doesn't become your identity. Loneliness doesn't mean you're forgotten. Slow progress doesn't mean no progress. And today's circumstances do not have the final word on tomorrow. You still have time. You still have choices. You still have potential. You still have another step to take. And if you remember only one thing from this entire message, remember this: you're not finished. You are being built. Every difficult day is giving you a chance to become stronger. Every setback is giving you a chance to become wiser. Every rejection is giving you a chance to redirect yourself. Every failure is giving you another lesson. And every morning you choose to continue, you are writing another page of your story. So wipe your tears, Take a deep breath. Stand up. Put your life back together one piece at a time. Stop waiting for someone to come and save you. Start becoming the person who can save yourself. Create your own path. Trust your growth. Respect your journey. And keep moving. Because the chapter you're struggling through today may be the chapter that prepares you for the life you've been waiting for. Your story isn't over. Not even close. The best chapter may still be ahead. So begin again. Today. Not tomorrow. Today. Because your future is waiting for the version of you who refused to give up.